Key hits that 3 to go up 20. This place explodes. What was it like to hear the crowd react to it?
Oh, it was good crowd. Students were great. He hit those 2 back-to-back threes to kind of break it open. And, but, guys defensively the second half, they shoot 23% and 0 for 10 from 3. And, I thought our activity was good. And Nate was phenomenal the second half. He owned the paint, blocked 5 shots, just did a great job. That's a really good defensive job by Nate.
I've seen you guys dive for loose balls into the stands and on the ground and boxing out well. You feel like the intensity is ratcheting up as
well, I hope so. Sense of urgency here. We're in our last month. Been a long season. We started practice October 1 and it's March 1. That's 5 months, and starting the 6-1, and guys are tired of me, and at times I'm tired of them, and now football's almost getting into with the playoffs and everything. They're going to have a longer season, but no, we're starting our 6th month here, and you hope the guys have enough to finish. You can get worn out in a 5-month season. You can lose your focus. You can lose your intensity. And it's hard for Jamari and Mookie and guys that aren't getting to play, but they've shown a lot of character and staying with it and practice and coming every day and working. And, I know how hard that is. That was me. So it's hard to be a freshman. It's hard to be a redshirt freshman like Mook when you just haven't. And you got Brandon, who's got a lot of experience, KJ, who's got a lot of experience, Raheem, who's got a lot of experience, TJ, who's got a lot of experience, and you're playing behind them. It's tough. So, but they've shown a lot of character and stand with it. So I hope we can have a good March here. If the ball movement's good, if we stay on the defense. I was a little disappointed in our rebounds. At one time we were, down 11-3, and we ended up 13-13 on second chance points. But one time, it was 9-3 at half. It kind of kept them in the game. We got to do a better job on the boards.
Yeah, what was the message when you called that timeout when they went up 15-4?
Just didn't like our activity at all defensively. And then we took 3 quick shots down at the other end, 3 quick threes. We're 0 for 3, and didn't make them guard. And I think 4 of our first 5 baskets were at the basket in the paint. And we have a tendency to want to fire that ball up real quick instead of inside out, get into the game a little bit. So didn't like our shot selection, and I definitely didn't like our activity defensively. We were just, as good as Nate played late, his activity to start the game was not very good. So, but he wasn't the only one. We just no talk, gave up open threes, didn't get any hands on any passes. Obviously, again, put him to sleep with my pregame speech, and we've had some horrendous starts, but fortunately we got a couple baskets, got us going a little bit, got some good stops there, and I think it tied it up maybe 17-17 or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but we got ourselves back into the game real quick.
You guys have been really good defensively for most of the last 4 games. Has something changed philosophically?
No. We had a bad week. We did not play well at Minnesota, got off to a bad start and didn't play well. We didn't play well at UCLA, and we didn't play at home against Nebraska. I have no problem with our effort and our focus, Michigan State. We played hard. We weren't good enough those 2 days to beat them. But I wasn't displeased with our effort, our focus, what we tried to do. We got beat at Michigan by 4, and then Michigan State, we had a good first half, but just ran out of gas that second half, and they got it going, and that place was electric, and we just didn't get it done. But as I've mentioned, other than that 1 week, I thought our guys have tried. I haven't been pleased with their focus at time or their execution offensively, but for the most part, they're trying to listen, trying to do what we want them to do. I think we're really close to just having some better offensive possessions, and our communication can get better defensively. So I think we're really close to, having a good ball team.
How does it benefit you guys down the stretch to have, at times almost a 10-man rotation?
It helps. Mookie made a big difference at Wisconsin, gave us, 3 or 4 really good minutes. Raheem's given us some good defensive minutes. So it helps, and if, the conference tournament here, hopefully we won't have to play 5 games, hopefully 4, but I'd like to think our depth would help us if we can get in that and win the first one, to get to the second one, win the second, depth always helps. You got options, and foul trouble can, really lead to some things. So you definitely got to have the depth. Guys got to be ready to go, and that's why I'm so happy that Mookie and Jamari and those guys have stayed ready. Again, I know how difficult that is, and they've handled it about as well as you can.
This game ended up as a blowout, but it wasn't that way until it was tight until the last 10 minutes or so. How's it feel to see your team close so well in those final 10 minutes?
It's good. We haven't done a good job of that. And so for us to continue to get some stops and not exchange baskets with them, to let them back in the game, we did a great job on Claude. He's a really good player, and he went 0 for 9. I thought TJ and Raheem, Bam, and Key did a really good job on him. And they're not a team you want to exchange baskets with. When they score over 77 points, they're 12-2. And in their wins, they've averaged 84 points, and their losses 69. So, I told our guys, we don't want to exchange baskets with these guys. That's what they want. They get that score up there, and they spread that floor. And they got a lot of guys that are hard to guard because of their size, those big guards. So, fortunately, I thought we handled it pretty well. And again, Nate defensively, and then Jackson and Key offensively got some things going. So, Key goes 8 for 10, and Jackson goes 8 for 15, 4 for 6, and 3 for 6 from 3. Those 2 guards were the only guys in double figures when we played them at their place. So, again, they had the advantage with the size of the guards, but I thought our quickness at the guard spots gave them some trouble.
Do you know anything about Indiana, much about Indiana? I know they have some familiar faces.
I've watched them a couple times, but I'm not smart enough to work on 2 teams at once. We'll get started tonight, and try to be ready on Tuesday. But they are talented. Rice has been here, Ballo's been here. We've seen some of their guys, and they're fighting for an NCAA tournament spot. And they got a tough game at Washington today, going on the road. Anything, and playing at Washington, those guys will be loose and fired up. And I think they've won 3 or 4 in a row. So we're going to have to play. And just like today, you got to get ready to play. You look at all the close games. This was the exception. I guess we got away from Rutgers at the end, but everything else, can be really tough, down to watching a little bit of Maryland and Penn State, and that goes down to the wire. So you really got to be ready to play every night out.